Good morning, dear 10th students. Let us start the new lesson today. That is the concert. Concert means here, which is a musical program which is held at public places. That is called as the concerts. Or it is a musical program which is held at in any stadiums for the publics, that is concert, which is by Shanta Rameshwar Rao. She has written this lesson, the concert. The writer of this lesson is here, Shanta Rameshwar Rao. First, we shall discuss about the writer of this lesson, who is Shanta Rameshwar Rao. She was born in 1924. She is an Indian writer of myths, legends, folk tales, short stories and picture books for children. She was born in 1924, in the year of 1924, and she was the multifaceted personality. That means during her lifetime, she made her work in the various fields or in the different kinds of literature. Okay, that they are myths, legends, folk tales, short stories, picture books for children. In these aspects, she made her work. So, I called her as multifaceted personality. She has told tales from Indian sculptures and reworked folk tales and myths from little known tribal communities and far-flung areas of India. She had written her literature in the various fields, that they are tribal communities and far-flung areas of India. The tales of ancient India, which is written in the year of 1960, she retells original stories like how the stork got its long neck and why snakes have forked tongues. So in these writings, she had just retells about the original stories. Children's Mahabharata, which was written in the year of 1968, and in worship of Shiva. It was also written in the year of 1998, drawn from Hindu myth and scripture, have demands, gods and humans as characters. During these aspects, she had written these books, Children's Mahabharata and Worship of Shiva. She stressed the importance of wise action in our public as well as private life. So, during her lifetime or through her writings, just she stressed the importance of wise action. Just she had stressed about the importance of wise action in our public as well as private or personal life. So, it was some brief introduction or the brief details about the writer of this lesson, that she was Shanta Rameshwar Rao. I have told already about the concert. Concert means, very simply, it is a kind of musical ceremony. It is a kind of musical ceremony or musical function. In that function, the great maestros are the greatest achievers in their fields. they have show their action or show their performance in these kind of concerts. So, in this lesson, Mrs. Shanta Rameshwar Rao just told about a little boy and who was suffering by a cancer. That boy was suffering by a horrible cancer. Was he cured by the modern medical science or not? That is the story of this lesson. And that boy had a sister, and how did his sister helped him to hear the great maestro's performance? That is also the story of this lesson. Let us know about the various incidents which were happened in this story. Okay. First, I would like to read this lesson. Shall I begin my model reading now? Okay. When I begin my model reading, all of you look at your books in the page number 86 with much more intention or attention. The concert, which is by Shanta Rameshwar Rao. One morning in a small apartment in Bombay, now it is called as Mumbai, a girl of about 16 looked up from the newspaper and said excitedly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow at the Shanmugananda auditorium. Shh, said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. You will wake him up. You know he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. But the boy on the bed was not asleep. Pandit Ravi Shankar, he said. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro, he raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second, then fell back. But his eyes were shining. We mustn't miss the chance, he said. I have always wanted to hear him and see him. Lie down, son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to the idols on a corner shelf. The prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden to her lips. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated. It's the chance of a lifetime. Then he began to cough and gasp for breath and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder and stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. Smita, who was his sister, her name was Smita. Smita bit her lip in self-reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words that neither she nor her parents could understand. But somewhere deep inside, Smita had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer, even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of 4, to their home in Gaganpur. And he was only 15 and the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking sitar lessons. But Anant was better than her as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their Guru. Then cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay so that he could be treated at the cancer hospital in the city. Whenever they came to Bombay, the family stayed with Aunt Sushila. Her apartment was not big, but there was always room for them. They had come with high hopes in the miracles of modern science. They told themselves that Anant would be cured at the hospital and he would again walk and run and even take part in the forthcoming table tennis tournament. And he would play the sitar and perhaps would be a great sitarist one day. But his condition grew worse with each passing day and the doctors at the cancer hospital said, "Take him home. Give him the things he likes, indulge him," and they knew then that the boy had not many days to live. But they did not voice their fears. They laughed and smiled and talked and surrounded Anant with whatever made him happy. They fulfilled his every need and gave whatever he asked for. And now he was asking to go to the concert. The chance of a lifetime, he was saying. When you are better, his mother said, this is not the last time they are going to play. Smita stood at the window looking at the traffic and her eyes filled with tears. Her mother whispered, "But you, Smita, you must go. Your father will take you." When she was alone with Aunt Sushila, Smita cried out in a choked voice, "No, how can I? We have always done things together, Anant and I. Walking in the park might make you feel better," said Aunt Sushila, and Smita was grateful for her suggestion. In the park, people were walking, running, playing ball, doing yogic exercises, feeding the ducks and eating roasted grams and peanuts. Smita felt alone in their midst. She was lost in her thoughts. Suddenly a daring thought came to her, and as she hurried home, she said to herself, "Why not? There is no harm in trying it. It would be nice to go to the concert. I don't know when we will get another opportunity to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar," she said to her mother later. And her father agreed to get the tickets. The next day, as Smita and her father were leaving for the concert, the brother smiled and said, "Enjoy yourself." Though the words came out in painful gasps, "Lucky you." Sitting beside her father in the gallery, Smita heard as in a dream the thundering welcome the audience gave the great master. Then the first notes came over the air and Smita felt as if the gates of enchantment and wonder were opening. Spellbound, she listened to the unfolding ragas, the slow plaintive notes, the fast twinkling ones, but all the while the plan she had decided on the evening before remained firmly in her mind. The chance of a lifetime. She heard Anand's voice in every beat of the tabla. The concert came to an end and the audience gave the artist a standing ovation. A large moustached man made a long boring speech. Then followed the presentation of buckets. Then more applause and the curtain came down. The people began to move towards the exits. Now was the time Smitha wriggled her way through the crowds towards the stage. Then she went up the steps that led to the wings, her heart beating loudly. In the wings, a small crowd had gathered to talk about the evening concert to help carry buckets and vehicles and instruments. He was there, standing with the man who played the tabla for him, the great wizard of music, that he was Ustad Allah Rakha. Her knees felt weak, her tongue dry. But she went up and standing before them, her hands folded, "Oh sir," she burst out. "Yes," he asked her questioningly but kindly. And her story came pouring out, the story of her brother who lay sick at home and of how he longed to hear him and the Ustad play. "Little girl," said the moustached man who had made the long speech, "Panditji is a busy man. You must not bother him with such requests." But Pandit Ravi Shankar smiled and mentioned him to be quiet. He turned to Ustad Sahib and said, what shall we do, Ustad Sahib?" The Ustad moved the weight of palm from one cheek to another. "Tomorrow morning we perform for the boy." "Yes," he said. "Yes," Panditji replied, "it is settled then." I stopped this model reading in the paragraph 13. Next paragraphs I will read them in the next class. Now let us begin the explanation of this lesson, the concert. The concert, which is by Shanta Rameshwar. One morning, in a particular day, that particular morning, one morning, in a small apartment in Bombay, Apartment here means it is a big building which have many houses for sale. In the city areas, the rate of the site is very high. So the people are not able to buy the site in any city. So the financial person or the very rich person who have a long site or very large site, he bought a apartment and sell the houses in that apartment for amount. So it is the group of houses. Apartment means here many houses are built in that building. So that is apartment. One morning in a small apartment in Bombay, I have already told you, Bombay means it is the old name of Mumbai. Do you know about this city, or are you heard about this city? The Manchester of our India, the business hub of our India, Bombay or Mumbai. Bombay is the old name of Mumbai. Mumbai, it is the capital city of Maharashtra state. It is the capital city of Maharashtra state. So, one morning in a small apartment in Bombay, a girl of about 16 looked off from the newspaper and said excitedly, During that time, the girl, her age was 16. Her age was 16. Looked up from the newspaper. That means she was reading the newspaper there, or she was reading the newspaper during that time. And when she was reading the newspaper, she heard she read the news in that newspaper and said excitedly and said very loudly, Pandit Ravi Shankar's playing tomorrow at the Shanmugananda auditorium. She read a particular news in that newspaper. That news was, or that report was, the great sitarist Pandit Ravi Shankar, who came to Bombay and performed his concert or playing his sitar tomorrow at the Shanmugananda auditorium. She read that news in that newspaper. The important news to her was here. The great sitarist Pandit Ravi Shankar, who came to Bombay and performed concert to the citizens of Mumbai in Shanmugananda auditorium. So that report was quoted in that newspaper. When she was looked at that news, she felt very happy, and she became very excited and told this news very loudly. When she was expressed her opinion about the report of that newspaper, when her mother was heard that news, just she pointed out to her, "Shh, don't make noise." "Shh," said her mother, pointing to the figure sleeping on the bed. "Look at there, your brother was feeling very ill. He was not very well. So why you are said very loudly? Said this issue very low voice." Just she pointed out to her daughter that she would speak in a low voice. "You know, he needs all the sleep and rest he can get. This boy, your brother, is needed to be rest, and don't disturb to him. You don't disturb to him while you made the loud noise. So make him well to rest well." So she cautioned to her daughter not to make a loud voice. But the boy was on the bed, was not asleep. When Smita and her mother was talking each other, during the time her mother felt that he was sleeping, but that person or that boy on the bed was not asleep. He was awaking. So when he heard that news, he became very curious and replied like this, "Pandit Ravi Shankar," he said. "Pandit Ravi Shankar. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro, the great performer." Maestro means here a great performer, especially a musician. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the sitar maestro, he raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second, then fell back. He was suffering by the horrible disease. During the time when he heard that news, just he wanted to stand up, but by his illness, just he raised himself up on his elbows for 1 second, then fell back. Then he lay down for sleeping. but his eyes were shining. But his eyes were shining. They were very expressed their very enthusiasm to look that person. That is shining. We mustn't miss the chance. We mustn't miss the chance. He just told this thing to his sister. We must not miss the chance. The chance is here to go and see the performance of the great maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar. PRS shortly is called as PRS, P for Pandit, R for Ravi, S for Shankar. So we mustn't miss the chance. Who replied like this? The boy who was sleeping on the bed, or the boy who was the brother of Smita. Whom was he said like this? He was said this to his sister. And what was the chance they mustn't miss? The chance of looking and hearing the performance of great maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar. So it is the extract which is very important for your examination as extract. We mustn't miss the chance. He said, I have always wanted to hear him and see him. His intention was here. Why he became very happy? Because he always wanted to hear him and see him. So that purpose he told, or he replied to his sister, we mustn't miss the chance. We are here. We means here Smita and her brother. When he replied like this, when his mother heard these words from that person or that boy, lie down son, lie down. His mother sprang to his side. When he wanted to stand up, and then he fell back on the bed, his mother went there very hurriedly and said, lie down son, lie down. That means sleep down son, sleep down. He actually raised himself up without help. She murmured with a catch in her throat, and her eyes turned to the idols on a corner shelf. Just she looked his that kind of situation, that kind of circumstance he was facing. So she felt very bad about that. The prayer which she uttered endlessly came unbidden to her lips. That means a lot of efforts she made to the God, or she made her effort to the God. Oh my omnipotent God, please save to my son. Always together 1,000 more she prayed to the God to save her son. I must hear him and see him, the boy repeated once again. The boy just expressed his ambition to hear the voice of Pandit Ravi Shankar and wanted to see him. Once again he repeated his ambition, that was, I must hear him and see him. It is the chance of a lifetime. He quoted that it is not a simple thing. It is a chance of a lifetime. So we mustn't miss the chance. I wanted to hear him and see him. He just told his or replied his ambition towards his sister and mother. Then he began to cough. After that he began to cough and gasped for breathing. That means he was very badly breathing. That means because of the disease. So gasp for breathe. That means very difficult to breathe or difficult to breathe easily, and had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. So the artificial oxygen was given to him by the cylinder which was held under the bed or held under his bed. So he had to be given oxygen from the cylinder that stood under the bed. But his large eyes were fixed on his sister. While he was suffering for breathing, while he was suffering for his body pain, but his eyes were fixed on his sister. Who was his sister? His sister was Smitha. His sister name was Smitha. So in the fifth para, Smitha bit her lip in self-reproach. Smitha bit her lip in self-reproach. Self-reproach means here a blame or criticism against oneself or herself. She just expressed her hatefulness towards the God. Why the God made my brother like this? So she felt very bad about her brother's disease. That is self-reproach. She had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. When she was reading the when she was reading the newspaper, she had forgotten the thing that her brother was very ill, and she excitedly seeing the announcement and expressed her opinion very anxiously or very loudly. So she had been so excited at seeing the announcement that she had not remembered that her brother was very ill. She had forgotten that thing for a while when she seen that matter in the newspaper. She had seen how the doctors had shaken their heads gravely and spoken words not neither she nor her parents could understand. The doctors were confirmed about his death, but they were not expressing their opinion about that boy to his parents. But somewhere deep inside, Smitha had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. But deeply of her heart, she knew the thing that Anant was going to die. He was became very weak by day, hours by hours. So she known the truth that her brother was going to die. Whose brother was going to die here? Smitha's brother. Why did he going to die here? Because he was suffering by a horrible disease. That disease was cancer. He was suffering by the horrible disease, cancer. Smitha had known the frightening truth that Anant was going to die. The word cancer had hung in the air. Her brother was dying of cancer even though she pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of 4, to their home in Gaganpur. By her deep inside of the heart, she knew the truth that he was going to that, but they were not ready to express their truth in front of their son. So, always they pretended that all would be well. Always they pretended, just they acting in front of him like that. That is pretended. She pretended that all would be well and they would return together, a small family of 4, of their home in Gaganpur. It is their native place. Their native place is here, Gaganpur. Their native place is here, Gaganpur. So, they came to Mumbai from her native place, Gaganpur, for their child treatment. So, they were 4 members in their family, including their father and mother, she and her brother. And he was only 15. Smita was 16 years old girl, but her brother's age was only 15. Her brother was only 15 years old, and during that time he was such a what we call that talented boy. During that time he was such a talented boy. Who was very talented boy here? Smita's brother was very talented boy before he suffering by the horrible disease cancer. So here very 2-mark question will be arise from that from this task or from this aspect, that is how you are say Smita's brother was a talented boy. The question may be asked like this. Smita's brother name was Anant. His name was Anant, who was suffering by the horrible disease cancer. So, how you are saying? The author asked a question to the readers, how you are say Anant was a talented boy. So, the answer for this question is like this. And he was only 15, and the first point, he was the best table tennis player in the school. First point, he was the best table tennis player in the school and the fastest runner. TTFR. TT means best table tennis. TT, table tennis. Best table tennis player in the school and the fastest. F for fastest, R for runner. Fastest runner in the school. It was his first talented aspect. Second one, he was learning to play the sitar. He was learning to play the sitar. That means he and his sister go to sitar classes to learn how to play the sitar. So he was better. He was learning to play the sitar. They were both taking their sitar lessons. But Anant was better than her as in many other things. That means he was a very brightest boy than his sister. Dhyan is sister. Dhyan Smita, he was a very brightest or talented boy. So, Anant was better than her as in many other things. He was already able to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of their Guru. So, he was able to perform or he was able to compose his own tune for the memory of his Guru. So, in these aspects, we may told that Anant was a very talented boy. That the points were like this. He was a best table tennis player in the school and fastest runner. Second one, he was learning to play the sitar, but Anant was better than her in her many other things. And third point, he was already able to compose his own tunes on his own tunes to the astonishment. Astonishment is here a feeling of a very great surprise. So that is astonishment for their Guru. Then cancer had, after that cancer had struck and they had come to Bombay so that they could be treated at the cancer hospital in that city. So, after that he was struck by the cancer and they came to Bombay for his treatment. So, they came to Mumbai or Bombay for Anant's treatment. They hoped he will be cured by the miracles of modern science. So, in the later pages or in the ahead pages, was he cured by the miracles of modern science or not? We shall discuss them in the later classes. So, it is about the explanation of the concert, the paragraphs of 1 to 5th. 1 to 5th. In these aspects, we come on to know the things on Smita was reading a newspaper. In that newspaper, just she looked at the news or report. That report was the great maestro Pandit Ravi Shankar and his team came to Mumbai tomorrow and they will perform their concert in the Shanmukhananda auditorium. So, when she expressed or when she told that news to his home members, Anant was not sleeping. He heard that news and he replied that he was very much interested to go there and he told that they mustn't miss the chance. It was the chance of a lifetime. But he was not able to go to the Shanmukhananda auditorium, so that Smita was very suffered for his unableness to go to the concert. But before he was struck by the cancer, he was such a talented boy that he was a best table tennis player in the school and fastest runner. And he was learning to play the sitar. He was learning to play the sitar. Both he and his sister, they were both taking sitar lessons, but Anant was better than her as in many other things. And third one, he was already ready to compose his own tunes to the astonishment of his Guru or of their Guru. So, by these points, you firmly told that Anant was a very talented boy. So, it is the explanation of the paragraphs of 1 to fifth of this lesson, the concept. So I would like to stop this lesson today here now, and then look at the page number 89's share your responses. First question, for a moment Smita had forgotten something. What was it? First question, take this as your homework question. And second one, in what way was the truth frightening to Smita? So you take these two questions as your homework questions and write your answers for these questions. Okay? Okay. Shall we stop it here? Okay, thank you.